Strip loin. The rib end shall be exposed by a cut that begins perpendicular to the long axis of the longissimus dorsi and continues on this angle or follows the natural curvature of the rib mark. Rib end shall contain only one rib mark, which extends to the ventral edge. Sirloin end shall be a straight cut perpendicular to the long axis of the loin through a point immediately anterior to the hip bone cartilage. There shall be no evidence of the cartilage pocket. The gluteus medius shall be present. Flank edge shall be a straight cut perpendicular to the outer skin surface from a point on the rib end which is not more than 3 inches from the outer tip of the longissimus dorsi through a point on the sirloin end which is not more than 2 inches from the outer tip of the exposed longissimus dorsi. Bones and cartilage shall be removed. Grade as specified with grade marks found in this area. Top sirloin butt. The short loin separation shall be a reasonably straight cut, parallel to the round end. The short loin separation shall be anterior to, but no more than 1 inch from the innermost point of the hip pocket. The short loin separation shall not be posterior to the hip pocket. The gluteus medius shall not run the entire length of the short loin separation area. On the round end, the gluteus medius shall be equal to or smaller than the biceps femoris. The bottom sirloin side shall be removed by a cut starting at the natural seam between the rectus femoris and the vastus lateralis. A portion of the vastus lateralis and tensor fasciae latae may remain on the top sirloin. The gluteus medius may not be cut into on the ventral side. All bones, cartilage, and exposed lymph glands shall be removed. Grade as specified with grade marks found in the shown area. Rib rack. 8 ribs, full or partial, attached to the backbone and extending to the breast edge shall be present on each half. Blade end shall be a straight cut, perpendicular to the backbone. A straight cut is made across the ribs on each half of the rack from a point on the loin end which is not more than 4 inches from the outer tip of the longissimus dorsi through a point on the blade end which is not more than 4 inches from the outer tip of the longissimus dorsi. All measurements are independent. Diaphragm and hanging tender shall be removed. Grade as specified with grade marks found in the designated area. Square cut shoulder. Blade end shall be cut between the 4th and 5th ribs, with at least a portion of the 4th rib extending to the ventral surface and perpendicular to the backbone. Cut must originate between the 4th and 5th ribs on the dorsal side. A portion of the 5th rib may be present on the ventral side. Arm end shall be cut through the cartilaginous juncture of the 1st rib and the anterior extremity of the sternum bone, continuing in a straight line across the arm end. There shall be cartilage evident in the cut made through the cartilaginous juncture of the 1st rib and sternum. Bone may be present if cartilage is evident from a cut made through the cartilaginous juncture. Arm end shall be perpendicular to the blade end. Neck shall be removed by a straight cut perpendicular to the spinal groove. However, not more than 1 inch of neck shall remain on the shoulder. Neck removal is measured from the intersection of the neck and the top line of the shoulder. Heart fat shall be removed flush with the rib surface. Grade as specified, with grade marks in the areas shown. Loin. Rib end for each half shall be cut between the 12th and 13th ribs. There shall be 1 rib, full or partial, remaining in each half, attached to the backbone and extending to the ventral edge. Sirloin end for each half shall be a straight cut, perpendicular to the outer skin surface and perpendicular to the length of the loin, through a point immediately anterior to the hip bone cartilage. The gluteus medius shall be present for each half. Flank edge for each half shall be a straight cut from a point on the rib end, which is no more than 3 inches from the outer tip of the longissimus dorsi, through a point on the sirloin end, which is not more than 3 inches from the outer tip of the longissimus dorsi. The lumbar fat for each half shall be trimmed to not exceed ½ an inch at the sirloin end. Kidney and lumbar fat shall be trimmed to ½ an inch to a point not beyond 75% of the length of the loin. Lumbar fat measurement is a straight line that connects ventral edges of the tenderloin. Diaphragm and/or hanging tender shall be removed. Grade as specified, with grade marks in the designated area. Leg. Leg is removed from the loin by a straight cut perpendicular to the outer skin surface and perpendicular to a line parallel to the shank bone, through a point immediately anterior to the hip bone cartilage. The gluteus medius shall be present. The lower shank shall be removed at or slightly above the upper break joint. If shank muscle is exposed, the lower shank has been removed more than slightly above the upper break joint. The gambrel cord is removed, exposing at least 50% muscle in relation to gambrel cord. Grade as specified, with grade marks in the area shown.